Hi everyone, it's Razyel Kayne and I'm back with another interview. And as you can already tell, there's no intro video this time because StreamYard went to the dark side and asked for money if I want to, put my usual tailored intro that I made about Mr. Levy. So it's not going to happen. Sorry, I don't even have my gaming countdown or all my little memes that I usually have. They're unavailable right now. But I guess without further ado, let's go dive, and I'm gonna ask my question to Mr. Jeremy Levy. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And don't mean to quibble, but it's Levy.
Levy. Oh, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Look at that fun factoid already.
Yeah, there you go. So
we're learning so much about each other.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I want to learn more about really your acting process and your path and how you got here. Not necessarily specified, specific to Transformers, because that's probably a small part of your career. But it's really more about how you got to where you're at. Great. That's what interests me. So, how did you get into the business? Like, when did you get the bug to act?
I think I always had it. I was always kind of a little ham as a kid. I loved to do impressions when I was a kid. I did a really bad Humphrey Bogart when I was like 7 years old. Pork chops and applesauce, but like a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that works.
Yeah. So I remember I did a play at camp when I was also probably single digits, and the counselors sort of wrote a play for us about camp. I had one line. Okay. My one line was, "Let's throw her in the lake." It was a single line. That was it. And when my cue came up, it was, "Nah, let's throw her in the lake." When my cue came up, instead of just saying, "Nah, let's throw her in the lake," like a normal person, I made a total meal out of it. And it went something more like this. "Nah. Let's throw her in the lake."
Oh, there you go.
All right, dude. All right, bro. So I always had the bug. And then I took some classes when I was a kid for film and TV and commercial. I did all the plays in school all the way up through high school. And then I went to college, Ithaca College, and I started as a musical theater major. And then sort of moved to straight acting from there.
Okay, so but what was the original plan for you? Was it TV, movie, radio?
I wanted to be in musicals on Broadway, actually.
Okay.
That was kind of my initial dream. I did all the musicals in school. I really I liked to sing. It wasn't until I got to college as a musical theater major, and I went to Ithaca College, which is a very, very, very good program. And I was sort of face to face with my colleagues, the people who are kind of on my level and wanted to do this professionally. And I was like, "Oh, you guys really love musical theater." I thought I loved it, but these guys had like Stephen Sondheim trading cards. Like they eat, slept, and breathed musical theater. And I was like, I like it, but I don't really like it that much. In musical theater, I mean, that is clearly a very tough business. And if you don't love musical theater, then you should not attempt to do musical theater. So I did not. So now I just sing in karaoke.
Okay. I've done a couple karaoke myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not an actor. I'm really just a 47-year-old man who likes to talk to people. So that's why I do this.
Perfect.
So you were in school plays, like high school and all that stuff. Did you do theater professionally? Semi-professionally?
Yeah, sort of. I did like a couple commercials when I was like a very young kid. I think my junior or senior year of high school, I did a production of the Pirates of Penzance at the local regional theater, which counts. You know, I got a paycheck.
It does.
That counts. But yeah, didn't really. I mean, I went on a lot of auditions when I was a kid. I'm talking like in the 5th and 6th grade.
Okay.
And you know, I would miss school, and my mom and I would hop on a bus, and we would come to New York, and we would sit in the casting office, and again, like my mom always said to me, she was like, if you're not having fun doing this, we'll stop. Like, we won't, as soon as you're not having fun, like, you're a kid, you should be a kid. And I was like, no, I like it. I totally like it. And then one day, we were supposed to go to New York to go to an acting class, and I had my friend's birthday party, and I was like, you know what, I'd rather go to my friend's birthday party than go to acting class. And she was like, why don't we take a break for a little bit?
Okay.
Which was good. I needed a break. You know, the business can be, you know, really, really tough, really stressful on kids.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I sort of put it aside for a while and allowed myself to have a childhood before I picked it up again.
So I'm gathering that you had support from your family. Like, you weren't the black sheep that that drags us to different cities for audition. Like, I'm getting that you had support and also leeway.
Yeah, my parents were very, very supportive. When initially, sometimes a little too supportive, and I will tell you how. So my mom would send out my headshots to agents in New York to pick up child actors and such. And she had read somewhere that to grab an agent's attention, you should put stuff in the envelope when you're sending like a headshot. You should put like little like sparkles and whatever in the headshot in the envelope. And apparently one of the agents at one point was like, I really like him, but I have sparkles all over my office. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should dial that part back.
Maybe $5 would have been a better.
Yeah, that would have been better. There $5 fall out of the thing than explode sparkles all over the office. But no, my parents were always extraordinarily supportive, very, very, and continue to be to this day.
And do you have siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother who is also in the business, but sort of on the other side of the business. He works in film distribution and film development. He was, however, a reality TV personality, so he did get his moment in the spotlight as well. He was on a show called I Love New York 2 on VH1 in the early aughts. You can look him up. It was cheesy on I Love New York 2. That's my little bro doing the family proud. And I have an older sister who does not have the slightest inkling to perform or really be artistic in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm just going to translate that question from my girlfriend, who's probably coming from my kid, because they're upstairs and they're watching this. Because my kid is 7 years old, so he watched Cyberverse and he watched Rescue Bot Academy.
Oh, nice.
So he and they both want to know if there's a difference in your approach of doing Bumblebee in Cyberverse or Rescue Bot, because the public is not the same.
Do I approach the two Bumblebees differently?
Yeah, because of the audience.
Yes, sort of. Not necessarily because of the audience, but the characters are just sort of, I mean, they are a shared reality, but not. They're almost like they are different universes, but they are close. They share similarities, but I do view them as two different Bumblebees.
Okay.
So the Bumblebee on Transformers Cyberverse, I looked at him as having an arc over the course of all of the seasons. In season 1, you kind of see that like he is just getting his memories back. He doesn't know who he is, and he gets glimpses of the Bumblebee he was on Cybertron. before he lost his memories, and he was this like fearless warrior. And he wanted to get back to that place. So I looked at all of the seasons as his hero's journey, as
Right.
sort of this, like, wet behind the ears kid. He's sort of the little brother character. He makes mistakes, he learns, but he's constantly kind of growing to become a leader, to become this great warrior, to actualize himself as a hero. In Rescue Bots Academy, I see that Bumblebee as already having achieved that.
Right.
He is already there. He's learned the things that he has needed to learn, and now he is acting as a mentor to other younger bots who themselves want to go on that hero's journey.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you.
Sure.
And how did you come about being the voice of Bumblebee? Like, is that, I'm guessing that's after years of other projects, shows, and short movies, and
Yeah. I actually had not done a ton of animation before I got to do that role. So actually, I did a lot of learning on the job.
okay.
I had been a professional voice actor for years, but I'd mostly done commercials because at the time, animation wasn't quite as globalized as it is now. I mean, the entire voiceover industry has become globalized. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, as evidenced by what we are doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the time, a lot of the animation stuff was in Los Angeles, and I live in New York. So we didn't get a lot of those opportunities, but that started to change. Now, again, it kind of doesn't matter where you are, which is why, my career was sort of able to pick up from there. So I'd been a voice actor for a long time, and I knew the casting director, Jen Sukup, also for a long time. She'd cast me in a bunch of commercials.
Okay.
And I initially received a message from her and my agent asking me to read for this role. And I didn't really know what it was at the time. I didn't know Cyberverse existed. This was only for Rescue Bots Academy.
Okay. So it started with the Rescue Bot Academy. Okay.
Right. So I auditioned for Rescue Bots Academy. And it was only then that I found out that they were launching 2 series at the same time. And they wanted the same actor to play Bumblebee in both series to have a little bit of consistency. So I didn't find out until Cyberverse much later. And then they brought me in to read for that. I think I came back something like 5 times. I had like 5 callbacks or something like that.
That's a long process. Like,
it was, between the 2 shows, because like one set of creatives would be sold on me, and then another set of creatives would want to hear their scripts. So it took a little while, but eventually I won them over. Eventually I win everyone over. If you hang in there long enough, I will win you over.
Well, that's a good thing. It's a good trait when you go on many interviews, and but now I did a deep dive on what you've been doing, and now you're doing a lot of news now. Like, you're the promo voice.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more promo stuff. I think I'm just sort of aging into it. I think my voice is getting a little older, so I'm at that point in my career where I'm doing some more promo stuff.
That's a good gig. I remember, I don't know if you're familiar with Jack Angel, who was also a voice actor. He did for Transformers. He did in season 3 of the original series. He was Rodimus.
Oh, okay.
And Jack Angel also did a lot of promotions for the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Like, after the 7 p.m. show, he would come in and say, "Oh, and at 10 p.m. we have this, we have that."
Up next at 10 p.m. it's Jay Leno.
Exactly. So that it's the similar type of thing you're doing.
Yeah. It's a good gig. I really like doing promos. I'm doing it for NBC News. I was doing it for a TV show for a while, a couple TV shows. It's good. They call promos, however, the golden handcuffs.
Right. Okay. And I get that.
Because promos are happening last minute all of the time. And the golden part is that, if you book a show, there's a lot of work. There are a lot of promos to be done, like your friend. I mean, he worked every day doing the Tonight Show. But that also means you need to be available all of the time.
Right.
So I have been, hiking with my wife to the top of not a mountain, but doing some hiking and being at the top of this very large cliff and getting a text that I needed to immediately come back down to record some promos.
Okay. So yeah, that's a downside. So I'm guessing it's not a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, none of this is really
No, it never is. Maybe if you get The Simpsons, that could be, a more of a steady job because they do the season, they do everything, and there's a salary that comes with it. But a lot of voice actor. I'll say this about voice actor because I've interviewed. You're probably my number 13 now, and it's the happiness level in you people is astounding. I look. My favorite human being is Paul Eiding. I don't know if you've had a chance to meet him at Transformers conventions.
No, I'm not.
If you do, if ever you see the voice of Perceptor, he was the original Perceptor in the original show. And if ever you can spend 10 minutes with this man, you will fall in love. And I was looking at pictures of him when he was 20 years old, and I look at pictures of him that he posts now, and he still has that glint of hope we all had. Voice actors usually keep that little happiness to their looks, their sight, it's really, I can't explain it, but I think it's really the formula of happiness reside in voice acting, either being cartoons or radio or stuff like that. I've never met a grumpy voice actor.
I mean, I've definitely met a grumpy voice actor, but I do, but I appreciate the sentiment. I think you're right. I mean, it is a really great gig, and I think that's why so many people want to do it. But part of the joyousness of being a voice actor, I think, is the limitlessness. The fact that we can do anything. We can be anyone. We can do things that on-camera actors can't. Or at least be considered for things that on-camera actors can't. On-camera actors more than often get typecast. They're like, oh, you are a detective. You are a doctor. You are a lawyer. You are the damsel in distress. You are the military guy. And that's the part that you play. And it's not always a bad thing if you're trying to work. I mean, listen, some people are just trying to work and they're like, I don't care if I play the same character and everything. I just want to work. But voice actors don't typically get typecast. I mean, you are only limited by your own imagination. So you can play a mouse, or you can play a giant, or you can play whatever you can get your voice to bring across, you can be. And I think you're right. I think there is a joy in that. And also not having to be on camera really frees us up. I was doing on camera and theater stuff, and I still do on occasion. But I like that I can age. I like that I can get fat. I like that, I don't have to worry about going to the gym every day. I don't have to worry about losing my looks as long as I can speak. And when you take that pressure off, and when you're not getting judged for your looks all of the time, like every time you go into an audition and they're like, yeah, you got weird eyelashes, bro. You gotta get out here. That takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
And it's
The
not that
constant
there's not a lot of rejection in voiceover. I mean, and the entire job is rejection. Being an artist, more often than not, is rejection. But at least it's not like it feels less personal.
and
Getting rejected through a screen.
and just to go into that question here, across all like roles and dubbing or promos that you've done, is there a project that gives you more liberty than others? Like, I'm guessing Bumblebee was scripted. This is your text, this is your environment. But promos for the news, are those like fully scripted, or you have liberties?
I mean, I would say actually it's the other way around. Promos in general are very tightly scripted, and they have to be because they're fast. They happen very fast, so people are literally counting the syllables. Depending upon the commercial project, you can improvise. You can improvise a lot. If it's a comedic project, if you're working with people who are funny and they want you to be funny, and a lot of the jobs I book, the writer will be like, feel free to get loose with it. Feel free to improvise. And on Transformers Cyberverse, the guys were always open. Randolph was always open. He wouldn't always take the suggestion, and he wouldn't always take the take. But if you did a couple takes as scripted, sometimes I would be like, "Hey, can I try something here? Can I improvise something?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, we got it in the can. We're playing with the house's money here. Let's try something." And a lot of times, it would be great, and they'd end up using it. And a lot of times, it would not be great, and they wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, you depending upon the situation, you can get very creative, and you should, because that is an actor's special sauce. That is the thing that makes an actor, and that's the thing that's going to make you stand out. So I do a lot of coaching. I always encourage my students to improvise where appropriate, because that is where they really get to make their own themness shine. And they're going to stand out next to someone who is just sort of coloring inside the lines and following all the rules.
Okay. I was going to get to that. You do coaching, I guess, classes online, and I like your tagline. I'm just gonna go back to the your website. I had it up, but I had to close it down earlier. But I do love your freeing your inner celebrity, how to be a voiceover legend bracket in your own mind.
Yeah,
I think that's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
So, and how like workshop, is it a good living? I mean, is it something that you draw a lot of people in and that you could pay your mortgage with, or is it more something like a to compensate?
Yeah, the coaching stuff for me is very much a side hustle.
Okay.
I mean, my day job is I'm a voice actor. That is what takes up the vast majority of my time. And I didn't want to coach for a very long time. Because I didn't think that I really had anything to say. I didn't know what I would say really to people. And also, there's a lot of imposter syndrome where it's like, I don't know, why me? There are a lot of actors who work more than I do, who have booked bigger roles than me. Like, who am I to pontificate to other people? So I didn't want to do it for a long time. But then COVID happened, and all of auditions went online. There was no more in-person castings. And I created for the first time a sound booth in a closet in a New York City apartment that I'm currently in.
Okay.
And I had actor friends who they would mostly do theater and film and TV stuff, but they would occasionally get sent voiceover stuff, and they were not set up to audition for a voiceover in their own apartment. So they'd come over here, they'd use my booth, and they would inevitably ask me for some tips or notes or direction. So I started coaching kind of by accident. And then a bunch of these people started booking jobs. And I was like, oh, maybe I do have something to say.
Okay.
So then I took a step back and I really thought about my approach to this stuff. And it was very important to me that my approach be my approach, and that I was not ripping off anyone else. I really wanted to get honest with myself and be like, how do I approach it? And I came to the conclusion of this inner celebrity thing, which is really just a celebration of one's own individuality. A lot of people, when they start doing voiceovers, they try to sound like someone else. They try to do impressions. They try to sound like the guys on the TV or the radio, and they try to like basically just
mimic.
Yeah, change themselves and mimic. And the thing is, that's a death sentence if you're trying to make it.
It's funny you should mention mimicking and stuff, because the reason I started my YouTube channel about 4 years ago, I was trying to find my niche and what I wanted to do, because there's a lot of in the Transformers community, there's a lot of toy reviews and stuff like that, which I started doing eventually. But first, I only wanted to do voice acting spotlight. So 5 to 10 minutes video where I take an actor's career, started with G1, and showcase what they did other than Transformers, how they got there, and everything. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was because of the War for Cybertron show on Netflix that came following Cyberverse, or maybe parallel. And because some of the voice acting was terrible, because Optimus Prime was not an actor. The person behind it was an impressionist that they found on Vine that could do a great Peter Cullen, but the moment that he had to act, he sounded like Christian Bale Batman, or like it just didn't work. So that's how I got started.
I may tell you something that might blow your mind right now. That was
Don't tell me it was you, because I know it wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me, but it was the same Optimus, the same guy who played Optimus on Cyberverse. Yeah,
it's the same person. I think he did a better job on Cyberverse because Optimus was more of a background stoic figure, which would say classic lines. Like that character was written more as a, this is a great hero and we all look up to him, but he had little interaction with the other the Decepticon stuff. Like, you had a couple banters, but it was all kind of rehash banter that we had in other shows, like the way it was written. So, but I know it's the same guy. It's just I think they put him in a situation where it wasn't his place. So it's not. I don't blame him, for the War for Cybertron, because basically they just cheaped out because they didn't want to use Peter Cullen. So they asked him, "Can you do Peter Cullen?"
Yeah,
and I will
say there are a lot of ways that voice acting can go wrong in the process. You can be a brilliant actor, but you can't control the takes they use.
Exactly, that's true. That's why I say I don't blame him. There's a voice director for the War for Cybertron
there are a lot of people. You are one person amongst a team of people, and unfortunately or unfortunately, no matter how things shake out, you're the one who's out there. in the spotlight. So you're the one who kind of gets the flack. But there are a lot of ways. I have listened to a lot of my stuff, and I've been like, really? You went with that take, or
Because you remember the takes, like some of them,
yeah.
if you happen to watch it, like, oh, I remember doing it better in another take.
Well, I mean, if and I am also, notoriously very critical of myself. But like if I watch something and I don't like a particular moment, may be reminded of a different, of a different tack that I wanted to take. But that is, that's I don't get final cut. I'm just a talking monkey.
Yeah, I think you're more than a talking monkey. But I have to say that Cyberverse Bumblebee was probably my favorite since the 80s. I mean, there's been
much.
a lot of, even in the War for Cybertron show, which was great animation, but I didn't feel the same type of youthful energy, from Bumblebee. So I really think that your version was different, but it was authentic. Like it was really something that stood out. Because a lot of people, and a lot of people are just tired of Bumblebee because he's been the character that we've seen it on every show, except
Right.
a couple, and even in the movie. But we were just happy that eventually he spoke again, because we were used to Bayverse, where he was just like a beep beep boop boop type of R2D2 sound box. So
Right.
my kid has another question. He's active today. He wants to know if there was a character on Cyberverse, or maybe outside the franchise of in the franchise of Transformer, that you would have liked to get a shot at.
Oh, man, that is a very good question. There are so many fun
Yeah.
characters on Transformers. I feel like Starscream would be fun. I really enjoy playing villains.
Okay.
Villains really, I will say, more often than not, villains do have more fun.
I think that's a general sentiment. A lot of people that voice villains really enjoy the fact that they can go out of bounds
Yeah.
with it and really go with it. Like, Mark Hamill telling his story of how he got to play the Joker is legendary story now, and because he didn't think he was going to get the job because of his status.
Yeah.
And finally, he just went all in and goofy, and he got it. So I think, yeah, you're right. Actors who play villains do have a lot of fun. So
Yeah. I mean, and
I can
almost
see you do
every
Starscream.
thank you very much.
I can see that.
Almost every kind of villain. Like there's like Mark Hamill's Joker, who is completely unfiltered and unrestrained. And how
Yeah.
can you not have fun with that as an actor? You just get to swing for the fences all of the time. And just to give, I mean, like the Joker is, in his mind, pure joy.
Yeah,
He is having the time of his life
exactly.
all of the time. He is living his best life. He is happy. He is joyous. He is, he's having a great time. Even, villains who are more stoic but have sort of a power to them, can be very, very fun to play. Or villains who are weak and relatable, and they've been hurt, and they are acting from a place of hurt and vulnerability, which can also be something very meaty for an actor to play. So villains are great.
Yeah, the often the more memorable characters. I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan.
I'm tangentially aware of Star Trek.
Yeah, in the show Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did
the
not watch
character.
Deep Space Nine, but
Sorry.
I did not watch Deep Space Nine, but I'm
Okay,
aware.
so there was, the villains on that show were what I still remember today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun thing. So, but you do a lot of radio and commercials and promos. So I don't want to say that limits, but I mean that's just a product that you're placing. But do they tell you what kind of direction do you get from someone like to say, okay, we want you to do this happy, we want you to do this stoic, or they want you to come up with the way you think it should be voiced?
Do you mean for commercials, promos?
Yeah, commercials. Yeah, like promos and
yeah. So every promo is different. Every commercial is different. So there's not like sort of I mean, there is an approach to all of them, but that is, I mean, the approach to everything. Let me see if I can answer your question. So an actor, no, it's totally fine. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to. So yes, you get direction as an actor. But in my estimation, an actor is not a computer. It's not AI. It's not feeding in prompts.
Thank you.
It is you are a team. You are collaborators. You are riffing off of each other. So as an actor, you are bringing your ideas to this. You are maybe given sort of a breakdown from the creative or the director, and they say, this is what we're thinking. We're thinking of something like this. You take that, you internalize it, you see where that lands with you. And then you say, okay, I think I can do that. And then you see what else you can bring to it. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to use all that. Also, like, this is my spin on it. And then the director will be like, oh, I like that. Could we try that? And then try a little bit of this. And then we do that. So it is the best sessions are a collaboration. Not all sessions are the best sessions. Unfortunately,
yeah,
like a lot of directors don't really, they're writers. A lot of creatives are writers and they're advertising people, but they're not actors, and they don't really understand actors, and they don't really know how to talk to actors. So you do get a lot of, what's called line reads, where they basically just tell you to say the line this way. And, or they'll be like, can you go up a half note at the end there? And was like, I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, it's not a singing job or a half note. I don't understand. But that's one thing. Some people are okay with a line read, some are not. But I feel that generally actors don't like to be given lines, like how to say a line.
Right.
So, but to get the proper line, what kind of direction do you prefer? Like, do you want them to go like, give you more energy, more power, more,
I mean, that is totally appropriate. But even in a commercial, the copy is a story. You're always telling a story, even if you're selling hemorrhoid cream.
Right.
You are telling a story. You are a character. You have an objective. Your objective is you want to help the person who is listening to you.
Okay.
So the best direction is approaching it like any other acting scene, like anyone else. I'd be like, okay, so this is your intention in this moment. This is what we're trying to get the listener to feel. This is what we're trying to get the listener to understand. So to me, that is the best direction, is approaching it organically, approaching it from whenever I coach, I talk about the outside in and the inside out. So the outside in is the thing that we all know. I mean, the thing is obvious. The thing is like, okay, I understand that I am in a commercial selling hemorrhoid cream.
Right.
I understand that I need to be energetic because I need to get people excited about hemorrhoid cream. That is the outside in. That is the indisputable truths that we know. The inside out is then saying, okay, how do I get there as an actor? How do I motivate that as an actor? So I know where I need to go. How do I make this an intention, or how do I use some past experience, or how do I use some emotional recall? Then you use your tools as an actor to get there in a way that is natural, authentic, and earned.
Okay, that's very interesting. Like I heard similar things for a role, because you want to, what's the character's motivation
Yeah.
and how you're going to come up with the voice. You look at a picture of the character and you're like, all right, so that's big belly, so maybe deeper voice, and like little. But I did not expect it for a hemorrhoid cream commercial. So
Well, I mean, and that is,
it makes sense.
that is why commercials have changed, and people, we as a society are now, and rightfully so, skeptical of people trying to sell us stuff.
Yes.
Like we
Yes.
don't want to sit there, and we don't want someone to hawk stuff at us. We don't want someone to talk at us. We want someone to talk to us. When I'm coaching, I always talk about like walking through the mall, and they're like those kiosks in the mall, and they're selling like bath salts or whatever. It's the difference between someone like sprinting up at you and throwing bath salts in your face and saying some sort of pre-recorded script, and someone sort of coming up you and introducing themselves and wanting to get to know you and your needs, and authentically talking about how much they like these bath salts. It's about connection. And so I mean, it makes for more interesting work, and also it is more inclined to make people buy stuff. So it's kind of a win-win.
No,
And
it's
people
like,
don't have to listen to crappy commercials. So it's a win-win-win.
well, exactly. And a good commercial on the radio, on TV will stick with you. I still remember commercials from 40 years ago that I've seen that, I would still buy that product if it was still available.
Mm-hmm.
So it works. You mentioned AI. So I do have a question that I usually like, two questions that I do ask. One is, I categorize like there's two type of voice actor. There's the working voice actor, which is people like you, but
Mm-hmm.
there's the celebrity voice actor, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I don't think is necessary. That they would hire. I always use Dwayne the Rock Johnson as an example because he did some voiceover for some roles, and I'm like, me at 7-year-old going to watch a movie, I don't care that it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson that voice it. It might work on parents, are fan of wrestlings. They want to see what he can do. But overall, I don't think that bringing a celebrity voice actor really helps a movie. What's your thought on it?
I know a lot of voice actors also feel this way. I don't necessarily share that notion.
Okay.
And that, again, is a lot of the whole freeing your inner celebrity bit. People get angry with celebrities for taking voiceover jobs. And my tact is, well, they're taking these voiceover jobs because they are celebrities, because they have, so instead of being angry at them, why don't we try to become them? And not in the sense that let us try to become famous, but let us study them. So a celebrity is a celebrity because they are unabashedly them. Like Jack Black is Jack Black because he's Jack Black. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And there is a reason that you can recognize their voices immediately. There is a reason that people are like, oh, that was John Hamm. Oh, that was that. Because they're distinct, they're creative, they're interesting, they're confident, they're not worried about coloring inside of the lines. They are going to bring themselves to this role. And why would Jason Sudeikis try to sound like anyone else?
Right.
When he is Jason Sudeikis.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah. I mean, celebrities are celebrities for a reason. They have a magic about them. They have an individuality about them. They bring something to the table that nobody else does. So I think our job as voice actors is to figure out what our X factor is. What is the thing that we bring to the table that makes us us? And sometimes it is your imperfections. I mean, I don't have a perfect voice by any stretch. I don't have a super clean voice in any way, shape, or form. And that's fine. I mean, my imperfections make me me. And that's why you will recognize my voice over somebody else's, because it makes me distinct. So I think we should be following them. We should be trying to be them in terms, again, of just celebrating our own usness.
That's very fair point. First time I heard that, so thank you. That was really different, and it makes a lot of sense because we do look up to. I have what's called the hero worship syndrome, so I can remember stuff from actors from many years ago. My friends are like, "How do you remember that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I wish I did." But then you touched on AI. I'm guessing you have a very different line of thought for AI, because AI voice is a thing now. AI everything is a thing now, and it's. I think AI was made for people like me. I can't draw. I can't do, and I don't have, unfortunately, I don't have the budget for like just my channel logo. I don't have the budget for a $2,000 project to create a logo. So not this one, but I used AI for something, and it turned out to be okay for what I needed. So I think that's a better use of AI. But now there's a lot of AI voices in commercials and games and stuff like that. And I personally, I hate that because I know it's taking people's job.
Yeah.
So what's your approach to that phenomenon?
Well, I most certainly don't want it taking anyone's job.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's, for some people, there's no stemming that. There's no denying that. That is going to happen whether we want it to or not. So I think for some voiceover jobs that maybe don't require a ton of one's own individuality, as we were just talking about, like, and I'm not knocking this work, but like doing a phone operating system, something like that is, that is something that AI could more than likely do pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to understand the depth of the human experience to create an AI phone operating system.
Yeah, well, you call somewhere and they just redirect you based on what you say and have the time to get it wrong.
Yeah. I think there is going to be a base layer of voiceover work that is going to be replaced by AI. And that sucks, but I get it. Like you were saying, I mean, it is like, the AI is the next wave of technology, like the internet was to my generation. And the internet screwed over a lot of brick and mortar mom and pop shops, or anyone who, I mean, unfortunately, when society grapples with a new technology, there is fallout, and there are victims, and it's, as eventually we as a society learn to coexist with this new technology.
Yeah.
That being said, for other voiceover work, for animation, for even for many commercials, most commercials, I don't think that people who can afford to hire an actor are going to want to hire AI for that.
Right.
And the same goes for animation, video games, the whole 9 yards. Because, and I will tell you why. I had a session last week. There were 13 people on the call. Let's say with me, I did it, over Source Connect.
Okay.
There were 13 people in that room, and I was consistently getting 13 different points of view. I was getting all sorts of different conflicting direction. I would do a take, and none of them could agree on a take. And we really had to sit there and talk it out. And I really had to try to figure out this very specific thing that they were trying to achieve as a group, because they didn't even know what they wanted. So we all needed to come together as human beings and discuss this and get to the bottom of it. I defy anyone, robot or human, to try to arrive at the place where we eventually arrived at through a series of well-constructed prompts. Like, I can't even imagine how many prompts they would have to feed in to that AI until they finally got exactly what they wanted. It is so much easier just to talk to a human and talk it out with them. Art is about nuance. Art is about the little things. Art is about the magic of the human condition that a machine can imitate, but not necessarily replicate. I think things are going to change, but I don't think that this is actors' swan song. I think having live actors may become something of a premium experience, because it's something that you're going to want to have to pay for. But if you are in the position to afford it, I think you will choose actors over the machines every time.
That makes sense. That's I'm just curious, how long was that 13 people call?
That was a 2-hour session.
Wow. Okay. Okay. My hat's to you. I can't stand a 15 minutes meeting with 3 people. So
yeah, that was 2 hours. You can always tell early on when it's going to be one of those too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to be one of these.
Okay. Well, that was really interesting. Thank you very much. I'm gonna wrap up, and usually I have a beautiful outro I say, and and now, StreamYard just said not today. So yeah, I have to pay now if I want to do that. So I'll see what I do next time. But thank you so much for taking the time.
Full Terminator 2, and we just go to SteamYard Skynet headquarters, and we just take him down from the inside.
We probably could do that. Well, if we hire the proper people to help us.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, though. It was great meeting you in Baltimore last November.
Yeah.
And I was able, not long ago, I interviewed Jessica Di Giovanni and Travis Arts. And good Jessica people. Suggested if we want to do eventually down the road, a panel, having you 3 on, with me on the channel and just talk about Cyberverse.
Color me intrigued.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So I'll try to set that up. It would be really interesting, but you guys' schedule are very conflicting most of the time. So
yeah, this job is, you never know what each day is going to bring.
Exactly. But I mean, keep doing what you do, because I think you're doing great.
Thanks,
if ever you get a chance, it was great. If ever you have a chance to, actually, I wanted to mention to you, if ever they do a reboot of Police Academy, I need you to apply to try to interview for Mahoney, because I think you have it.
We love Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, I think that would be a good role for you. Or if they do a documentary, a biography on him, you should interview for that.
You know what? I could see it. I love Steve Guttenberg, so thank you very much. I will absolutely do that. Oh, also, I want to plug my podcast.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
I do a podcast with my lovely wife, who's also a voice actor. She is on Pokemon. She plays.
What's the link? Do you have a website or?
It is the show is called So I Married a Millennial. So if you Google that, and I believe the website is soimarriedamillennialpodcast.com.
Millennial. I'm gonna try it. Oh, there you go.
Or you can find
Podcast. There you go. So I
There you
married a millennial. Oh, there you go. And this is your wife?
So that is my wife. My wife is. We're both millennials on opposite sides of the spectrum. I'm as old as you can get. She's as young as you can get. And I realized she had never seen any of the movies of my childhood. So I'm making her watch all of the movies from my childhood, and then we talk on the podcast. And we talk.
I like that you made her watch Spaceballs.
Oh yeah. So for the next episode, she will get her revenge, and she will make me watch something from her childhood.
Okay.
And then we are going to discuss that on the podcast too. But it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect. So I plugged it here in the comment section, and I will go add it to the description of the video, which I will be sending to you. So that if you want to share the interview. So, well, thanks everybody for coming over. Live chat usually I get 3-4 people, but then after that, get a little more views down the road. So that's why I like doing this. I like interacting with people, with actors, because I'm fascinated. Sometimes I don't even talk about acting. We just talk about other stuff. So there you go. Oh, and then Brick Builder Prime, as usual, as we're leaving, he gets here. I think he did that the last time too. So, or maybe he waits at the end to comment. So,
way to make an entrance.
All right. So, thanks for coming over, guys. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. I love reading those. Keep coming back. I have more on the way, and remember that nothing in life gives you a right to be an asshole. Take care.
Take care.